Significance is something that is decided on at the start of the experiment. There can be a mild sort of causal link that you'd say isn't really indicative of a proper causal link. So the significance quota could be given in a way to allow for a little bit of leeway. Perhaps there isn't quite as much effect as you thought, or if there's not enough effects, then you can discount it because even though there was a tiny bit of an effect, you're like, well, no, we're discounting that. So if we consider the coffee example, or the non-directional, positive directional, and negative directional are all alternative hypotheses. They all describe a relationship by manipulating the independent variable. That's the quantity of caffeine. So it causes the effect to the dependent variable. That's the heart rate or level of activity. So the null, on the other hand, would be talking about that there was no relationship between the two, or at least no significant relationship. So the more caffeine you have, if there is no or very little change to your heart rate, and the reason you'd have a significance quota there is other things can change your heart rate. Perhaps you stand up, perhaps you read something exciting, perhaps you started falling asleep. All these sorts of things can change your heart rate, so you'd want to have a significance quota, perhaps 10 beats per minute, that you'd ignore based on the caffeine. I suppose it depends how strong the caffeine is as well. So the null, on the other hand, would basically be that there's no significant difference in the heart rate, or there's none at all. So someone drinks caffeine, their heart rate doesn't change, or it changes very little. The reason you might have the significance quota is basically to allow for natural changes in heart rate that might happen just because someone's standing up or read something exciting, or they've been sat down for a while and so their heart rate's dipped and so on and so forth.